So back to what I was saying about the fights is that I don't know if I said this in a video before, but I've been feeling like the fights in the magazine has been lackluster compared to its previous predecessors. Like even like I even had this moment in Black Clover. It felt like Tabata was rushing fights. Felt like fights were only lasting like a chapter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like really happy when the Manga versus Dante fight was like 3 chapters. I'm happy that this fight is lasting long too. Um, because that was my biggest concern. It was like the fights was too short,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand because when you have a big cast, you want to give everyone. Because I think the issue with Black Clover is it's not the fight; it's just like the pacing. It's very quick, it's very fast. And Tabata said this because his last series, Hungry Joker, was too slow, and so it got axed. So he's still in that. Oh no, I have to be quick, or it's going to get axed phase. But my man, you've been in the magazine for like what 6, 7 years now, because
Yeah.
Black Clover started in 2015, and that's what like 6 years now.
Yeah. 6 fucking years. I think he's
Years.
safe.
I trust me. I trust me. Your volumes sell 200K, almost 200K every volume. I even against
But those numbers are inflated.
like even amongst like heavy hitters like One Piece and My Hero and JJK, bro, your manga will be fine. They can't get, especially since My Hero's ending and JJK probably has like another year or two, and
Yeah.
even Mashle might have like another year or two. I
It's
think
fucking wild to think about that when you talk about something like that. Think for a minute. Those are 4 of their longest running series right there that will probably end around the same fucking time.
yeah. So like I give My Hero till next year until it ends.
Thank you. It's over. Let it
Yeah, I
die.
know a lot of My Hero fans are upset about that, but when you say final act, and they're saying final act of the arc. But first of all, the war arc is over. We're in a new arc now. He said final act. I'm pretty sure because Hirokoshi has said a long time ago that My Hero is almost done anyways.
Yeah.
He said that.
They're sucking on the copium. They're sucking on the copium.
So it's just like it's the same thing with Chainsaw Man. People couldn't believe it was ending, and yeah, like it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's going to end, right? But back to what I was saying, like it feels like the fights in the magazine aren't as good as they used to be.
Mm-mm.
Like I think top 3 contenders for best fights are One Piece, JJK, and Black Clover. Like, but even then, like I know I like Mashle's fights. Mashle fights are good, and they last. Because like I'm tired of like these 1 chapter fights, bro. Like I get it, like it depends, but like I get it, but it's just like come
No,
on,
the one chapter, like some of
give me
the
more.
fucking Chainsaw Mans were 1 page.
Like it's just like it feels like the authors feel like if they don't rush a fight, that it's like people like bro, give us like 2
Give me
chapters.
that Bleach fight. Give me that Bleach fight,
Like
okay? Let
that's the
that
one
shit
thing.
drag on for 3, 4 chapters. I don't give a fuck.
Like that's the one thing that I really loved about Kubo, and maybe it's because it's a different time for him. But one thing I love about reading Bleach is like the fights are decently long, bro. Like I always think like the fight was gonna end like immediately. And One Punch Man, the adaptation's the same way. The fights are pretty decently long. Like I feel satisfied for the length that I'm getting. But in the
Is there
magazine,
anybody left alive in One Punch Man?
yeah, they're fighting for their life right now. That's as much as you can say. But because I'm just like, can we like get like fights that like maybe like more like it's 2 chapters. That's all I'm asking. Like 2 chapters at most, right?
Yeah.
This is just like I get it, rushing, timing, editors, but it's
You
just
need to
like
take 6 pages off of this chapter and 5 off of this chapter, and you need to actually make this fight 3 panels. 3 panels. That's all you can have.
we
But yeah, I agree there. Like, there's so much of this need to rush a fight. Like, I'm so tired of it as well, because fucking the longest fight we have right now is happening inside Black Clover. I don't know personally about One Piece. Thurman can weigh in more on that when he gets back. But like that seems to be the longest fight going on, and I need to read like 4 chapters of JJK.
yeah,
Uh, Yeah, so JJK's current fight, how's that progressing in One Piece's current fight? How is that progressing? Are those
So,
being one
uh,
chapters as well?
One Piece. So One Piece is actually doing well. Me and Red both agree that the fights in One Piece right now are doing really well. The Robin fight, fucking phenomenal. The Jinbei fight, Frankie fight. The fights in One Piece are doing. Oda's doing Oda things. So you can't complain about that. JJK is in a weird spot because it's not really a fight oriented. I mean, it will be, but right now
It's
it's not.
JJK. It always ends up that way.
Yeah, but right now it's not really like oh we have to like beat up this guy. They're just trying to spoilers in 3, 2, 1. They're trying to find a student from Jujutsu High to help them with the culling game. So it's not necessarily like I'm not really getting giving JJK shit for fights, especially since Gigi just came back, so from being sick. So I ain't gonna be hard on him for
Right.
that. But at the same time, the point of the arc that we're in isn't really battle oriented, so I'm not really, I'm just
Okay.
enjoying the progression and all that. But like the latest Black Clover fights have been great.
Yeah, I was mentioning that.
But it just felt like at a time like last year or so, like beginning of this year, it felt like the fights in the magazine were just lackluster. I wasn't feeling the excitement that I used to feel when it comes to the fights. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yo's fam was not doing it for me. Like
Yo's Fam's fights haven't been that good for a while. I
like
will give you that.
Black Clover wasn't doing it for me for a little bit. One Piece wasn't doing it for me for a little bit. The only really like my hero fights have never been that good. If I'm being completely honest with you, even since the beginning, I
Oof.
don't, my hero fights have been um, more about emotion. Like I could get a video on this. Their fights are more about emotional moments than like actual like I'm punching you to punch you shit like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
always more meaning attached to My
yeah,
Hero fight. I'll give you that.
I'm not
Even as
knocking
little as I read of My Hero.
I'm not knocking that for my hero at all. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like the fights comparative to its competition is very very lackluster. The art's good, but
Oh yeah.
I'm not really like especially during the joint training arc. The fights in that arc were fucking shit. Oh my god, they're fucking awful. Uh,
How
the
do you
Zoro
feel the animators felt that have to fucking deal with that, man?
oh my god, the arc is so bad. The arc is so bad. Jesus Christ, that arc is so bad. But uh, what else series I was talking about? Doctor Stone. Well, that's a can of worms.
Yeah, Dr. Stone doesn't really have.
Red, like they do flips.
I think he's not wrong. Like, the most fight we had was guns blazing and people proto dying, okay? Yeah.
For what we get from Doctor Stone as far as fights go, it's decent. Okay, like when Kohaku and Tsukasa and shit fight, that shit's a blast to read. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? But like, it's only a matter of time until they have to fight an actual martial artist, and then we'll get some good ass fights, right? But Doctor Stone fights are done like because honestly, I would consider the Senku versus Ibra a decent fight. It's
Yeah,
a battle of smarts, but it's technically still a fight.
yeah, it was. But I'm trying to think what else has really been good. I mean, Candy Flurry seems to be setting up fights okay, but they're not really. They're not really fights. They're. I don't know what the fuck you would call them. And then you have fucking Niru, which is too new to really judge.
Yeah, honestly, Niru looks like it's gonna be great if
Oh, the
if
fight! It's a martial arts manga. If you're not aware,
yeah, the fights
uh,
is gonna be good. Candy Flurry is surprising me with this fight. Holy shit, the fights we're getting right now, really good, really
they're
really good.
good, but I don't know what to call them. I don't know if I call them fights. You're throwing confectionery around, okay?
Like gum versus ice cream, bro. Like I was like that was I because I know the first volume isn't selling that well to my knowledge anyway for shonen. Uh, from so I don't know, and then when it comes to the rankings, it's up in the air because like
Hmm.
me and Rixie talked about in the Discord before is that the ranking system is very up in the air.
Yeah.
Like we thought Yo's fam was going to be axed a long time ago, but
Right.
instead of that, it was Mitama security busters and shit. Yo's fam might get an anime soon, right? And like now with Phantom Seer, everyone thought Phantom Seer was going to survive. It was selling decently well, and it ended up 30 chapters. So we don't know what the true criteria is anymore. So at this point, who knows?
Yeah,
We
and
could
that's
think, we
weird.
could think Candy Flurry could fucking
Candy Flurry
just
could be 400 fucking chapters. We don't know, and that's
yeah.
it's so weird to think about. It's so weird to think about that, because it's a fucking series that's solely about fights around candy. You would think it would be selling just on the stupidity of that premise alone, but it's not. And the Shonen Jump ranking system is the write-in survey, right, and then the sales. And then that really determines how you are supposed to stay or go in the magazine. That's like the getting axed meme that you see everywhere. But it's one of those things where we don't know if that's even being implemented anymore. Because, like, Phantoms here are doing as well as it did. Fucking, Candy Flurry doing as poorly as it did. We should be seeing, like, Candy Flurry will be ending in 7 chapters. By traditional standards, around 20 chapters is when something gets axed.
Yeah.
And we're at 13 right now.
Because you have to give it its first volume a chance. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because like at the same time too, it's more or less like a because I mean because it's the same thing. Like Candy Flurry could be doing horrible, but at the same time, for some reason it could just be survive, and then like Red Hood, which I think is really good, could be doing really well, and then it's like it gets axed like chapter 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very, very weird. And like when it comes to the fights are like decently. I'm enjoying the fights. Like comparatively, like One Piece, Black Clover, JJK, like Doctor Stone, and all that. But like if we're talking like like Naruto, give it like top 20, right? Elusive Samurai actually. I'm gonna be honest with you. That series fights is what saved it for me. Like the characters were always okay. Like, I like the characters, but it was missing something more in the action in that fight in the series saved it for me. Like that last fight, that last arc, the whole battle thing was the main reason why I gave it a second chance.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's really like the only reason I'm still reading it is it has that one thing per chapter to be like, well, I gotta see how this plays out now.
That's true. That's definitely true because what else? What else? Let me look because I know. Oh, Ayakashi's fights too. 50-50.
Yeah, there are definitely some sinkers out of theirs, and that's unfortunate because it's a series I fucking adore.
I think the good fight I think everything's too easy right now. Because it's like, I think the author is mostly focusing on like the relationship sides of things instead of like the actual action side of things. But after this last chapter, that could change.
Yeah, see, I haven't read the last 2 of it. I haven't read the last 2 of Niru. I haven't read the last 2 of Red Hood or Candy Flurry because I'm saving those to read on the con floor.
Read Red Hood. Shit's fire, bro.
Yeah.
Fire.
I'll be reading all that Friday on the con floor. So, and then I'm taking 2 Pokemon Adventures volumes with me.
Yeah, because Ayakashi, the really good fight was that first actual like Ayakashi fight they had.
Yeah.
With the nigga who liked to eat people or some shit. I don't know what the fuck that shit was. I don't know. But
it's Ayakashi. It is going to devour your soul somehow.
He first turned back into a guy to fight that nigga. That was a really good fight. But we don't really have much to go off of.
So here's a question for you. Since you're talking about the fight quality, do you feel like they do better in Jump Plus, or do you feel like they do better in regular Jump overall? Because you have series like Abyss Rage where like there are phenomenal fights.
I mean, it depends because like most of the stuff that are like monthly and shit, like I'm not counting like Boruto or Dragon Ball Super, but like World Trigger hasn't been haven't seen a fight in a minute, right? Like what else is there? Like I don't read Blue Exorcist yet, and Seraph of the End I don't read yet, and then
You can
uh,
skip Seraph of the End. You can skip it.
Twin Star Exorcist I watched the anime, but I haven't read
The
it.
anime was horrible.
Yeah, I heard Perot shit the bed on that too, but
uh,
when it comes to Jump Plus,
mhm.
I mean besides like Kaiju number 8, like there's not many much to be honest. Like besides like Ishida's new series Trojan X, that's pretty decent. But like and then Dandadan, Dandadan is actually really good, has really good fights.
Dude, I've been reading that
Dandadan is
on
really
stream.
good, really good.
Rick
Uh,
said that's exactly what I was getting at. The fan base of Seraph of the End is just cringe fest. Um,
yeah,
but
Dandadan is really good. But like I mean, honestly, there's not really much of a comparison because Spy X fights are
they're there.
there shit worse than my Mission to the Curve family fights. That's for sure.
You know,
Uh,
they've had the ability to do good choreography in Spike's Family. You see it. You've seen it. But their fights themselves, it's just like, it's not the author or the artist's strong suit, for sure.
uh, I mean, it's a slice of life
Mhm.
comedic series, so I'm not. I wouldn't expect too much from this action department anyway. But
Lasher Luke's over here recommending Pokemon Adventures to you.
yeah,
Uh,
I read that. I read that. It's really good. Um, like
he's one that kept pushing it on me.
honestly, like right, like the only thing that I think compares to like Jump when it comes to fight
Mhm.
choreography is Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, I
Kaiju,
really need to give that another chance. I really do.
Kaiju number 8 probably has some of the best fights and probably the best fights in Jump Plus right now. If I'm being completely honest and fair, I haven't read Hell's Paradise. Heard it's really good.
It is phenomenal. Fine had me reading it on stream for a while, and then I started reading it off stream because it's so fucking good.
Yeah. So like when it comes to Jump Plus, Dandadan and Kaiju number 8
Yep.
clearly bop.
Okay. So I mean, you were bringing basically the same perspective of us because I've heard phenomenal things about Kaiju number 8, but it just didn't capture me at first. Um, it might if I read more than the first chapter or two. But and now I'll just go back and reread because there's only like 50 chapters. Anyway, and then Don because I've been reading that on stream because it's Fujimoto's assistant, and it has that feel, and I really do agree that like the choreography in that is fucking phenomenal, but it's also one of those oddities that are in Jump Plus. But I feel like that should be a standard, and like Jack the Ripper versus Hercules, but it's not Jump. It's Viz now, but it's not Jump. Uh, but I will agree, like that really is a pinnacle for choreography and fighting as well. So I mean, you have that for outside of Jump, and then you have in the Jump banner, Dandadan being like what should be the standard, you know?
Honestly, I feel like series like in Jump Plus wouldn't last in weekly
Oh
shows
God, no.
that they like. I do agree that if a series in Jump, like one thing I will say, I will give to the Phantom Seer fans is that like if a series is selling well, but not as well as like the magazine it's in calls for, just put it in Jump Plus.
Yeah.
Honestly, like put like there's so many series that should have been put in Jump Plus that like Phantom Seer Jump Plus, um, Mitama Security Busters Jump Plus. Hell, I even she should even put Samurai X in Jump Plus to be honest.
Samurai 8, why?
Hell, like hell, even Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin put it in Jump Plus, bro. Like if a series lasts long enough for like 50 chapters, but it's not selling well enough in the magazine, but you just put it in the
Put it in the bi-weekly or the monthly
yeah,
magazines, like
like that's what your magazines are for, right? Like don't just like have them acts, you know, like. It's like because I'm not just saying like if your series is selling really bad from the jump, pun intended, um, uh, like if you know if it's like doing bad in the rankings, poor sales, axe it at like 20 chapters, 19 chapters, yada yada yada. But if it's doing well enough to make it last for a year, and you're like, all right, it's not selling as well as we'd like, but it still has a fan base at this point. Just move it to another magazine. Like
Hmm.
Harpo, Pop and Dolphin and Midtown Security Busters, and hell, even Samurai 8 should have just been moved to monthly or bi-weekly.
I think that Samurai 8 could have survived in a monthly banner or a bi-weekly banner. Yeah, because it's that old writing style that Kishimoto's so desperate to hang on to. That, but the fights in it were great. The fucking there was a lot of promise for a story to progress out of it, but it was just developing so goddamn slowly that it couldn't survive in that
Yeah,
weekly.
yeah.
Uh,
Shit like that should have been put in like Jump Plus and shit. But I mean, at the time, I think at the time, Samurai, I don't think Jump Plus was a thing. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. But I mean, hell, even Chainsaw Man is going from those magazine to part two being Jump Plus. So
yeah,
if you can do that, you can literally ask the author, hey, we're gonna move you to another magazine if you want to keep your series going. Because I mean, I wouldn't be offended by that. At least my series is going. I still can enjoy it. Because at that point, if you have like 50 or something chapters, you're gonna have a fan base regardless. Because I mean, you kept like if you have 50 chapters, that means that your series is popular enough to keep it long
hmm
enough because you're making them somewhat money. You know what I mean? Or your shit went under the radar. Who knows? I don't know if Yo's it has a fan base in Japan or not. I don't know, but it has a growing one on Twitter. But in Japan, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, Chibi started reviewing it or reading it, so like it might have more over here now. Um, and it's just one of those things like I'm really curious on like if they could implement service like that, how well it would be perceived. Because then those people, if they like that series, are they going to have to start buying 2 or 3 magazines just to read every series that they like, moving from that to that? Uh,
Well, I mean, go ahead, finish what you're
yeah,
saying.
but it's like at that point you just subscribe to the app. Like it's over there, and
Yeah, because Jump Plus is only online. There's
right.
no magazine for Jump Plus. Jump Plus is strictly online. You read that shit online. So it's just like it's definitely a different feeling, but like it's better than because I don't know the scheduling because I think even Jump Plus is no Jump Plus. I think I read somewhere. I think it was either Super Eye Patch Wolf's video, his last State of Shonen Jump video. Jump Plus is a free reign. The author gets to pick when they
Mm-hmm.
can release their shit or not. I
Uh,
don't know if that's true, but Danzo has weekly technically.
yeah,
It
it.
releases every Tuesday
Yeah.
in
Um.
Japan. So that's actually a weekly Jump Plus series. So they can do that. If they still want their shit to be weekly, you can do that shit yourself. Like I was saying, like Jump Plus gives you a lot more freedom, Like, and of course you don't want to oversaturate your Jump Plus series. You know what I'm saying? Because like I think it's only like what 4 or 5.
I think there's a max of 6 at any time going. I could be completely wrong on that, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
definitely is like I've noticed the actual dates for like Trojan Axe and like the Ghost Reaper Girl and all that are all different.
yeah. Okay, here so Jump Plus. Here we go. I have the Manga Plus app. So you have your weekly. It's you can feature it has your like your weekly Shonen Jump stuff. Doctor Stone, One Piece. Shit like that. And then oh, I find it funny that they even still have Hunter x Hunter in that lineup. That's really funny.
You can only buy the volumes, I think.
Yeah, but but it's just funny how they have like all the weekly Shonen Jump shit still here. But
I think it
and
also
then
has like the first 3 chapters available to read for free.
yeah,
Um,
and then for your Jump Plus, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 series so
well, I was
far in
wrong.
Jump Plus. But I think some of the stuff has ended already, to my knowledge. I know World End Harem. I don't know if World End Harem ended or not. I think so. Maybe I'm not sure, but I know that Sherlock Holmes manga that was in Jump Plus, that one ended or will be ending soon. Um, I know. I know a lot of these. Most of the Jump Plus stuff has ended.
Yeah, Look Back is also like a one shot. Heat Gear or Heart Gear, I think, is that's on hiatus. World's End Harem is still active. Um,
Oh, okay. That. Oh, okay. Cause I know Ghost Reaper Girl is. I don't know the process on that one, but Ghost Reaper Girl is still ongoing. And then you have your monthly shit down here, like World Trigger, Surf at the End, Blue Exorcist.
another chapter is not coming out till September 6th for Ghost Reaper Girl.
Oh, Chosen X is monthly too. It's not Jump Plus. Oh wow. Okay, cool. But
It's the I'm fucking Ishida, here is my dick release schedule.
yeah. So long story short, right? Like there is not it's not as much because how much is in the magazine right now? It's one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I ain't counting Bleach, but 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then if we count Hunter x Hunter, it's 20. So like
We don't count hiatus, okay?
so basically there's 19 series in the magazine right now, basically, right? So like comparative to that, or in Jump Plus, there's 10, but and if we include like Dandadan, that's 11. Right?
Yeah.
So like it's not like you're oversaturating Jump Plus if you like move like a series that's not succeeding in the weekly
Let's say
magazine.
let's move Candy Flurry there. Like
Yeah, so like you can do that. I don't know why they don't do that, but you can do that. Because I mean, it should be an option, right? I feel like your editor should be like, "Hey, do you want to move magazines?" And you can say no, I'd rather in my series and Weekly Shonen Jump, or you'd be like, "Hell yeah!" I mean, it's up to the author.
shit, that's more money for me, right? Cool. Let's move it over to that bi-weekly one over there. I don't get it. I feel like a lot of this choreography, a lot of these stories would be able to flourish better with a more kind timeline like that, you know? Because you see, near the end of Bleach, you're not there yet. Like, it really felt like the fights were rushing forward, and you weren't getting as good of choreography for most of the background fights. You were seeing a lot of, and I think maybe that might be from me reading it from a weekly perspective. It just felt super rushed near the end. I definitely, after the one shot, do want to go back and reread Bleach.
Yeah, dude, it's so fun, bro.
But yeah.
It's such a double series to binge.
I really feel like, especially the Fullbringer arc, would be better on a binge. But yeah, I think that wraps that topic up pretty well, too.